Alright, hey guys, Only Gamer here, back with another video, and today I'm doing another episode of my Games I Recently Bought Online series, which is basically my pickup series, where I basically just show you guys what I've picked up over the last couple months or so. I've decided that I want to make these videos every 2 months or so, so on a bi-monthly basis, because I don't really buy as much stuff in just one single month to do these every month. At the end to show you what I bought. So every 2 months or so I'll do a new episode of this series. But yeah, so this is my pickup series where I basically just show you guys all of my online game purchases pretty much. And there's quite a lot to go over in this one. I've got some really cool stuff to show you guys in this episode, including one really expensive item, which I'm going to save for the very end because it's probably the most amount of money I've spent on something on eBay. So with all that being said, let's just get straight into it. Now, these first 4 games here I've actually already shown off before. They're all PS3 games, and I recently did a PS3 game collection video where I showed all 4 of these. So if you've seen that video already, then you would have already have seen these. But I thought I would, still show them in this video regardless, since I brought them obviously since the last episode of the series. So starting things off, we have Doom 3 BFG Edition for the PS3, which is a game that I actually already own for the Xbox 360 right here. So yes, I've got 2 versions of this game. I didn't really need to own 2, to be honest, because I mainly bought the PS3 for exclusives. Truth be told, I only actually bought it for the PS3 just to play Doom 1 and 2 on my system, because I don't know, I love Doom 1 and 2. I mean, they're literally 2 of my favourite games of all time, and I don't know, a part of me just wants to own a version of those games for every system that I own, pretty much. So that's the main reason why I bought this. I actually haven't touched Doom 3 at all on this version. I have played this, but only Doom 1 and 2. So yeah, and you can't even get those digitally anymore on the PS3. So yeah, that's the only reason why I bought this, to be perfectly honest. That's the only reason why I bought this, was just for Doom 1 and 2. No offense to Doom 3, it is a good game, but it's definitely my least favorite of the Doom games. It's just again, it's not a bad game, but it just doesn't feel like Doom to me. Doom is at its best, in my opinion, when it's a super fast-paced, frantic shooter. And obviously Doom 3 went for a different, more slower horror approach. And yeah, it just wasn't really for me. But it is a decent game. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, that's complete. But yeah, I literally bought it just for Doom 1 and 2. Just gonna be honest. And they're good versions as well. They're good versions of those games. I mean, obviously not the best. I have Doom 1 and 2 on PS4 as well, but it's just, it's cool to have another version of Doom, because in my opinion, you can never have too many versions of Doom. But yeah, so that's that. I think this cost me about £7, I think. So yeah, that's the first game. And then the next 2 I brought together as a bundle, so I'm going to show them both off together. And these were pretty damn pricey. We got the 2 Hatsune Miku Project Diva games for the PS3. So we got Project Diva F and F Second. These are the Japanese copies, because these ones are just simply a lot cheaper than the North American or the European ones. The European one especially is fucking 60 plus quid complete box. It's insane how much they are. And all the other Miku games as well, the one for the Switch and the PS Vita games. Not entirely sure why, but the Hatsune Miku games are just really, really damn expensive. But yeah, I really wanted these 2 for the PS3. It sucks that they are the Japanese versions. It does make it a little bit kind of hard to play because all the menus and stuff are in Japanese. It's not a deal breaker, but it is a little bit annoying. But yeah, it's the first game here, which is complete. And luckily the PS3 is, of course, region free, so I can actually play these, which is good. And got the second game as well. That's also complete. So yeah. So I brought these together as a bundle, and these were about £30. So yeah, so it was about 15 for both of them then, which I thought was a pretty good deal, because usually just one of these games on its own, even the Japanese version, is sometimes just 30 quid just for one of them. I have seen some recently on eBay that are a little bit cheaper. I think I saw a copy of the first game, the Japanese one, that was 15 quid. But yeah, regardless, whether it be Japanese, American, European, just whatever, the Hatsune Miku games are pretty much always expensive, no matter what region they're from or what platform. They're pretty much always pricey. So yeah, I just thought it was a good deal personally to get both these for 30 quid. But yeah, it was a heck of a lot of money, I'm not gonna lie, but like I said, for the Project Diva games, I thought it was a decent deal for both of them. Alright, and then the next PS3 game we have here is, again, another one I showed off in my PS3 collection video, and that's Tekken Hybrid. Now, this is one of the PS3 exclusives that I wanted for a really long time. This is a really unique game, actually. Only came out for the PS3, and it's part video game and part movie. You get 2 games on here. You get the original Tekken Tag Tournament remastered in HD. You get a demo for Tag Tournament 2, the prologue, and you also get a movie as well, Tekken Blood Vengeance. So yeah, so you get all of those on one Blu-ray, and yeah, it's a neat little thing to have. A very expensive game. I mean, this usually goes for around like, you know, like 30 quid, sometimes like 20. I've seen. I think I got this copy for 20 as well, but yeah, there it is, complete in box. The version of Tag Tournament on here is actually really good. I mean, like visually, they didn't like really upgrade it too much. I mean, it still does kind of still look like a PS2 game, but they mainly just like upscaled it, make it like look better on a HD TV and whatnot. But yeah, it's still really cool to have. I know there's obviously other Tekken games for PS3, but I already have those for the 360, Tekken 6, and Tag Tournament 2. So I don't need those again on PS3, because like I said, I'm only going to get PS3 exclusives, and yeah, and as you can see, only on PlayStation. And yeah, it's just really cool to have, because I'm trying to get like all the console Tekken games. I pretty much have them all now, except for Tekken 8. That's the only one I'm missing, which I will get that as soon as I get PS5. But yeah, still really cool to have that. The next lot of games we have here is all part of the same series. It's a PlayStation exclusive series, and I basically brought the whole lot of them because I wanted to play these games for a really long time. And so I brought every entry in this series, minus the 2 handheld spin-offs. I brought all the console entries of this series, and even though I didn't buy them all together, I'm going to basically just show them off together. But yeah, I basically brought the entire Killzone series. Yeah, I got the whole lot. Got the original PS2, Killzone 2 on PS3, Killzone 3 on PS3, and Shadow 4 on PS4. So yeah, so all the console entries of Killzone pretty much. Yeah, I didn't bother getting the handheld ones because like I wasn't really like that interested. Plus I don't own a PS Vita, so I can't get like Killzone Mercenaries or anything. And I know Killzone 1 does have a PS3 port, Killzone HD, but the physical version of that is ludicrously expensive. Like easily like 70 quid minimum. I mean, it's even more expensive than the Project Diva games. Like it's, yeah, it is fuck off expensive, Killzone HD. So I got the PS2 version instead, which I know is obviously the inferior version. I mean, like Killzone 1 was a game that like not many people even really liked to begin with, even back in the day. And I know this version, especially compared on the PS3, has like a lot of like, you know, performance issues and stuff. But again, this was a hell of a lot cheaper, man. I got this for only like 3 quid, so you know, there's no way in the hell I was going to spend like 70 or whatever for Killzone HD. But yeah, I've got that complete right there. I have played a little bit of it, and it's okay, I guess. I mean, it's definitely no Halo. That's for certain. You know, this was supposed to be the PS2's Halo pretty much, and it's just kind of mediocre, to be honest. I mean, I kind of want to play like a little bit more of it because I only really played like an hour and a half or so. I kind of want to play more, but yeah, it's just average so far. And then for Killzone 2, this one I've heard a lot of really good things about. You know, I've even heard some people go as far to say this is one of the best games for the PS3. And I haven't played too much of it, but I did enjoy what I have played so far. And I did actually have downloaded the demo for this before I eventually bought the full game. But yeah, I need to go around and actually like play more of it because I've heard amazing things about it. But yeah, that's complete as well. And I've also got Killzone 3, which I also had the demo for this as well. I've not played the full game yet. I'm thinking of playing this as soon as I'm done with Killzone 2. But I have played the demo, and they're virtually identical, I'd say. You know, Killzone 3 is very much like, very similar to 2. And yeah, that's complete as well. And then Shadowfall, which was the last entry of Killzone they ever made. It was a PS4 launch title. This one I've also played as well, and couldn't really get into it. That's complete as well. Couldn't really get into it, but just like with Killzone 1, I kind of want to go back and play a little bit more. I mean, visually, I think it still looks amazing, personally. Like, for a game that's over 10 years old now, This game still holds up incredibly well, even on a base PS4. This game still looks amazing. So yeah, it really does show like the capabilities of the PS4. But yeah, but the gameplay wise, I wasn't like really the biggest fan of it. You know, same with the other Killzones. I mean, they don't play bad, but I'm not really a big fan of like the weightier controls. You know how like everything just feels, I don't know, like really heavy, and it's just, I don't know. Again, I want to go back and play more of it, but yeah, I bought the entire Killzone series. I got these two together actually, Killzone 2 and 3. I got them for £5 for both of those. Killzone 1 was £3, I think, and Shadowfall was £3.50. So yeah, so pretty cheap for all of them. Yeah, it was just it was a series I really wanted to try out for a long time, and I decided since they were cheap, I would just buy the whole lot pretty much. And yeah, I haven't played much of any of them, but like I said, at least I have them all now. All right, and then moving on, we have a Nintendo Wii game here. Now this is an interesting one because this game I technically already have, but I brought it again because this version actually has more content, like on the disc, and it was really cheap as well, so I was just like, fuck it. But yeah, I brought a copy of the best game on the Wii, the Black Eyed Peas Experience. So yeah, I actually already own this game. I have it for the Kinect as well. Which I showed off in the last episode of this series, but I brought it again on the Wii solely because this is the special edition of the game, which has additional content. I mean, it has, like, says right there, includes 2 additional tracks. And yeah, and I have the standard edition, which I've had for years. The rest of the game is the exact same. But yeah, this only cost me like £3 or something. I don't even remember exactly, but it was dirt cheap. And I was just like, why not? I was debating whether or not I was even going to buy another copy of this because, you know, it literally is just two songs. You know, I've already got this game already. But, yeah, and there's the back. But I figured, why the hell not? You know, I pretty much just got it because it was cheap. But, yeah, there it is. Got that complete. I actually recently did a whole Black Eyed Peas collection video over on my extra channel where I showed off all of my Black Eyed Peas related stuff. Because, yes, I am a fan of the Black Eyed Peas. You know, make fun of me all you want. I don't give a shit. Yeah, I own all their studio albums physically. I have every version of the Black Eyed Peas Experience. I have one of the old Black Eyed Peas DVDs, which has like some of their old music videos on it and stuff. Kind of mainly the only reason why I brought it, you know, it was just for the collection. And I do actually like those 2 additional songs, Light Up the Night and Someday, which are from the beginning album. I actually really do like those songs. So yeah, it was cheap, so I was like, fuck it, why not? And as well as that, I also got the special edition for the 360. Yes, they also did a special edition for the Kinect version as well. And I decided I would buy that also. But annoyingly, however, I don't think the disc for this is actually the special edition because, well, first of all, unlike the Wii, it doesn't actually say special edition on the disc. And I popped it in, and there was no Light Up the Night or Someday. Like, I looked through the entire track list of the game, and yeah, they weren't there. So either they're unlockable songs that you have to unlock by doing certain things or whatnot, but I couldn't find them. I mean, in the Wii version, they were definitely there. They were, you know, unlocked from the get-go, but they weren't here for some reason. So, like, the disc and all the content was just the same as the standard edition, which I've already got. So I'm actually thinking of selling this because, like, just what's the point? Like, this is just the same game I've already got pretty much. I mean, even the special content that's advertised at the front isn't even on the disc, at least not that I can find. Very disappointed with that, actually, because it's like that was the whole reason why I brought it again, was just to get those 2 additional songs on the disc. But yeah, they just weren't there for some reason. Again, unless they're unlockables, I couldn't find them. And moving on, we have another PS3 game. Now, this one I didn't show off in my PS3 game collection video because I actually bought this shortly after. Yeah, this is the most recent game I brought for my PS3, actually, and it was probably the cheapest so far. I only paid like £1.80 for this. And yeah, and it is Gran Turismo 5 Prologue for the PS3. Now, I do want to get the main Gran Turismo 5 as well as Gran Turismo 6. Those are games that have been on my list for a really long time of PS3 exclusives I want to get, along with other games such as Haze, which I know is supposedly really bad, but it's the only Free Radical game I don't own, so I figured, why not? And besides, it's only £1 a CX, so I just figured, you know, I might as well get it. Ridge Racer 7, which was a launch title for the system. Home Quest is Raisin Storm, which I've wanted for really long time. It's like the only Time Crisis game I don't have. I have Time Crisis 4, but not Raisin Storm. I was debating whether or not I was even going to get this, but because it was so cheap, like I said, it was only like £1.83 for this, I was like, why not? And it is complete. I played a little bit of it, and yeah, it's okay so far. I mean, Gran Turismo isn't really my kind of thing, to be honest. You know, I much prefer more like arcadey style racing games than simulation races. But you know, I mean, they're still good games, but it's just like not really my thing. And I don't know, I just like collecting them, I guess. All right, moving on, we have a Game Boy game. Been a long time since I last actually brought a game for the original Game Boy, and this is quite a weird one actually. And I'll show you why in a minute. So this is actually the only Tony Hawk game that I brought recently. Yeah, usually I always have like a bunch of Tony Hawk games in these games I recently brought online videos, but I've only brought like just one over the last like month or so. And that's mainly because like there's some of the other Tony Hawk games I'm after at the moment, because I'm trying to get a full set. I want to get like all the console versions of all the Neversoft developed Tony Hawk games, and a lot of the ones I'm missing at the moment, like the ones for the N64, Dreamcast and whatnot, are all pretty pricey. I found this on eBay, and this really intrigued me. So yeah, so I was just scrolling on eBay, just looking through Tony Hawk games and stuff, and I stumbled across this, and when I saw this, I was just like, what the heck? So yeah, this I just brought just out of curiosity, to be honest. I found this weird bootleg of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 for the original Game Boy, not the Game Boy Color, the original Game Boy, because as you can see, it's the original Game Boy grey cart. So yeah, and for some reason it has the cover art for the Game Boy Advance version of Pro Skater 2, and they just like added their own like 3 at the end, because that's clearly the Pro Skater 2 logo with just like a custom 3 added at the end. So yeah, and the front of the cart looks like it's moldy or something. I don't know what the hell that is. I don't even want to touch it, but yeah, I just found this on eBay, and I was just like, what the hell? I mean, I've seen these kind of like weird like Game Boy bootlegs, like, you know, like a lot of times on eBay, but like you very rarely see one for Tony Hawk. And so yeah, I just thought this was just so freaking weird, because you know, like it's an original Game Boy cart, which obviously Tony Hawk wasn't on the original Game Boy. I haven't actually tested it out yet. I really should have, because that's like also like the main reason why I bought it, was because I just want to see exactly what was on there. I assume it's just the Game Boy Color version of Pro Skater 3. But again, just the fact that it's in the original Game Boy cartridge kind of makes me think that, you know, potentially it could be something else, you know, but I don't know. So yeah, I really should have tested this beforehand, but I don't know how I haven't at this point, you know, just kind of too lazy, I guess. But yeah, I just bought that just because it was weird, you know, just this weird Tony Hawk 3 bootleg for the Game Boy, the original Game Boy nonetheless. Moving on from that, we have another cartridge game. Now this is one that I only really brought because it was a lot cheaper than usual. This game usually loose on eBay is around about like £35, and I got it for only 15. I don't actually even own the system, or the add-on I should say, that's needed to play this, but again, I thought I would get it because it was only 15 quid. I was like, you know, I'm probably not going to get this any cheaper, so I figured I'll just, you know, might as well get it. And that is Doom for the Sega 32X. Yes, my first ever game for the 32X. Obviously the infamous failed add-on for the Mega Drive. The Mega Drive I do own, but the 32X I don't, unfortunately. They're really, really expensive these days. Like, I had a look on eBay the other day, and the cheapest one so far is going for like 150 quid. So yeah, and that's like just the unit itself. I'm not even entirely sure if that comes with like the extra leads, because like the 32X has like additional leads that you need to like hook it up. Like one hooks up to the back of the Mega Drive, another hooks up somewhere else, I don't even remember where, and it also has its own power supply as well. And the games as well, I mean the games, you know, again it varies in price. Doom is definitely one of the more common ones. Like I said, usually loose is around £35. I have seen some complete in box copies for 35 as well, but they're in custom cases. They're in like custom plastic cases. If you want one that's in like the authentic cardboard box, it's usually gonna be a lot more. But yeah, this was only 15, and I figured like why the hell not, because Sega 32X stuff is so fucking expensive. So I figured I might as well grab it, you know, while it's somewhat cheap, I guess. I would love to own a 32X, but no way in hell I'm going to spend like anywhere close to like those sort of prices, like 150 quid. Like, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, so for 15 quid, I couldn't say no. But it does suck that I obviously can't play it. But hopefully one of these days, fingers crossed, I can get a 32X, you know, that won't financially break me, you know. Hopefully. Now, moving on, we have a PC game. Now, I just did a PC game collection video, only like a week ago or so, as of me filming. And I mentioned in that video that, because you know, I had if you saw that video, you would know that I have a bunch of like some of the old like early Lego games for PC. And I mentioned in that video that I almost had all the Lego Creator games. So I got the first Lego Creator, I got the 2 Harry Potter spin-offs. But I mentioned in that video that there was one more that was missing, which I now have, and that's Lego Creator Knights Kingdom. So yeah, so this was like £3.75, again, pretty cheap. I wanted this game for a really, really, really long time, since about like 2015 or so, which is when I bought the other Lego Creator games. I don't know why it took me 9 years to finally get this, because this isn't a rare game at all, and it's still really cheap. I don't know why it took me so long, but yeah, I finally got the last Lego Creator game. Haven't played it yet, because I currently have a PC at the moment, because I broke my old one, like I mentioned in the video. But yeah, there it is. It is in really good condition. It's even got the little thing here, whatever this is. So yeah, so I just bought it just because I was missing it. So yeah, there's that. Finally got Lego Creators. This next one here, I literally just got in the post like today. Like literally like as I'm filming this, like I just like opened this up. The parcel that it came with is literally like on my windowsill right now. Like I literally just got this in the post like right now. This was supposed to arrive like on Thursday, but it only just turned up now. And it's a Sega Mega Drive game that I've wanted for a really long time. It's Sonic Spinball. So yeah, complete with the box, as you can see. For me, when it comes to the Mega Drive, I usually, like, if it's a lot cheaper, I usually just get cart only. But I figured, like, with the Sonic games specifically, because I want to get all the Sonic games for the Mega Drive, you know. I've only got Sonic 1 and 2 at the moment, and now Spinball. Sonic 3 is ridiculously expensive. That's like 30-40 quid complete box. I want to get Sonic 3D as well. That's getting pretty pricey as well. Sonic and Knuckles, that's also pretty pricey. So yeah, so those I probably won't get for quite some time. But however, I did manage to get Sonic Spinball for a decent price. This usually is around 15 quid complete in box. Sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less. This one I only got for about £7.50, which I thought was a really good deal. So yeah, so this was of course like the weird pinball spin-off of Sonic. That was like a part, it was like part pinball game, and then like it was also like a little bit of platforming in some sections as well. It was a game that I was never really like too much of a fan of. You know, I played it many times before on like Sonic Mega Collection and whatnot. Never really got into it, but you know, I mean, it's still an interesting game. And like I said, I wanted to own all the Sonics for the Mega Drive, complete in box, which luckily this is complete. Got the manual and everything. Cart's in really good condition. The only issue with it is the corner here, the actual label as well as the plastic has a tear in it, which is really annoying. But you know, I could probably just like tape it down or something. You know, it's not really that big of an issue, or just get like a new case or something to, you know, swap it out with something else. But yeah, other than that, it is in really good condition. I haven't tested it out because I literally just got this. But yeah, really cool to have. I would love to own, like, preferably I would love to own all my Mega Drive games complete in box, but sometimes that just financially isn't the best decision. But you know, for all the Sonic games, at least, I do want to get these complete in box. Even some of the other games on Mega Drive, again, like, stupidly expensive. Like Robocop vs. Terminator, complete in box, it's like 35 quid. And even Loose Cart is like 25. It's just, I'm telling you, Mega Drive is just getting stupidly expensive now. To the point where even the loose carts are really expensive. For games that you wouldn't necessarily think would be expensive, but they are for some reason. So it's just, you know, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm glad to have this though. Now, the last item we have here, save the most expensive one for last. Now, this one isn't actually a game, but it is something that I've wanted for a really long time, and is kind of, in a way, this is one of the most, by far, one of the most sought after things I own. and it might actually even be the holy grail of my game collection. It's not like a stupid expensive item. Like, it's not like over 1,000 or anything, but this goes for a hell of a lot. I got a pretty decent deal on it. It's fucking crazy I even own this. I might have to do like a slow reveal for this or something. Yep, if you know what this is, you'll know why I say this is like one of my holy grails. Yeah, this is the Game Boy Player startup disc for Nintendo GameCube. Ridiculously expensive these days, well over £100. You know, especially with the box. I've even seen loose discs of this close to 100 as well, which is insane. Like, for the little like tiny GameCube disc, over 100 just for that. Yeah, this is obviously the disc that's required for the Game Boy Player add-on for the GameCube, which obviously allows you to play Game Boy games on your TV. I don't own a GameCube, nor do I even own a Game Boy Player, but I brought a startup disc because I got this for a pretty decent price. Like I said, this is usually well over 100 just on its own, and including the Game Boy Player and stuff. I mean, it can go upwards of like 200 quid, and it's just insane. This I only paid £63 for. Pretty pricey, I know, but for this is a bargain pretty much. You know, £63 for the Game Boy Player startup disc. Again, it does suck that I don't even own a GameCube or the player. So this is currently like just a coaster to me. Like, this is just, I can't do anything with this, because obviously putting this in the Wii just does nothing. I will get a GameCube at some point with the Game Boy Player, because at least now I've got the most expensive part out of the way. You can usually get just the player on its own, and even just a GameCube for about 50 quid. I got the most expensive part out of the way, so I just need to, you know, focus on getting those. But yeah, this, I can't believe I actually own this. It doesn't have, it did originally come with like some extra like stuff here, but I don't have any of that. It's just a disc inside. It does come with the original case, as like the little Game Boy Advance slot at the top there. So I do know that this is the genuine Game Boy Player case and not just swapped out with just a regular GameCube game, because obviously you wouldn't get that on a regular GameCube game. But yeah, I can't even believe I'm holding this right now. This is easily over £100 worth in my hands right now. It did hurt buying this, even for 63 quid, I'm not gonna lie, but again, for how much this usually goes for, £63 is a fucking bargain. Is an absolute bargain for how much this usually goes for. You can call me stupid for buying this, especially when I don't even own a GameCube or Game Boy Player, but again, just like with Doom, I couldn't say no to this. I just couldn't. It was too good of a deal not to buy, so I had to go for it. But yeah, like I said, I am currently on the hunt for GameCube with the Game Boy Player. I am currently looking on eBay, you know, trying to get the best deal possible, which is easier said than done, but I will definitely get one at some point, because man, I wanted one for such a long time. The Game Boy Player is honestly the only real reason to even still own a GameCube, because obviously, like, I have a Wii which plays all GameCube games and stuff, but it doesn't play the Game Boy Player. So yeah, that's the main reason why I want one so badly. I want to get one preferably that comes with the player, so I don't have to like buy them both separately. But yeah, so there it is, guys. That was today's episode. A very interesting lot of games, to say the least. Some pretty weird ones, and obviously some really expensive things. A lot of this stuff was cheap, but yeah. So I need to get a GameCube. I need to get a Game Boy Player, so I can finally take advantage of the £63 I spent. So yeah, wow, I can't even believe I bought that, to be honest. I mean, it was probably a stupid purchase, to be brutally honest. Like, I really should have waited until I got a GameCube first, but it's obviously too late now. But yeah, so I need to focus on getting a GameCube. But yeah, so anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. So yeah, so like I said at the beginning, I'm going to be doing these videos every 2 months from now on. So yeah, so the next episode of this series will be in May. Yeah, please like, subscribe, and peace. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, take care now.